Hello, good morning, and on behalf of the fellow board members of HealthTech Ireland, I'm really delighted to welcome you here today to our conference 2022. As Ivan said, I'm Ray Cahill. I work with a company called Change Healthcare, and we're involved in medical devices and technology in the areas of radiology and cardiology. And we've been a member of HealthTech Ireland for the last 12 years. And for the last 4 years, I joined the board and became chair. This year is my last year as chair, and I'll be handing the reins over to Enda Mulvaney from Medtronic, who unfortunately can't be here today because COVID is still knocking around and knocked him for 6 this week. It's really great to be back meeting again physically. And this is very much the part of our HealthTech Ireland membership that we value the most, the ability to network. Today we have representatives of over 100 companies in the room and departments. And I really encourage you to take the opportunity to reach out to the people at your table, because it's oftentimes through these dialogues that we identify opportunities for collaboration and get a real insight into what's happening in our industry. And that's so important today. And this year is our birthday, 40 years, HealthTech Ireland, an organisation built to be the voice of the health tech industry. From the vision of a few back in 1982, today we have a diverse membership of over 170 companies operating in the diagnostics, digital and devices space. The members of HealthTech Ireland, we all share a common denominator. We're operating and delivering services, products and people into the Irish healthcare system, supporting in many different ways every day the delivery of health and healthy living to the population of Ireland. Our companies are proud of the contribution we're making daily and are eager to do more. As an association over the last 3 years, we've sought to reimagine how we can encourage collaboration amongst our members and all groups involved in healthcare. We have an active set of activities, events, thought leadership, publications to spark and fan the flame of collaboration for good. A real change is hard to achieve on your own, but great outcomes can be achieved when we work together. The last few years in particular have shown what can be achieved in a time of crisis when we work together. The advances our industry have made in technology over the past few years were made available when they were most needed. And as an industry, we want to explore how we can continue to do this. Our association mantra is we advocate for an open Irish marketplace with access to modern healthcare technology, procured in an efficient way, providing value to all stakeholders. And I believe this is an aspiration shared by all stakeholders in health. HealthTech Ireland is a not-for-profit organisation made up by its members, and a lot of work is done by the members. We have an excellent executive team who support a lot of our work. But today I'd like to appeal to the membership to get involved in our activities. We have active working groups in the area of procurement, market access, sustainability, regulatory affairs and member services. And this is an excellent way of contributing to the work of the association and gaining a greater understanding about what's happening from a wider industry perspective. And you'll have the opportunity today out in the corridor to get a sense of the working groups, what they do, and to indicate some interest. We'd love to have you on board. And indeed, many of my board members are in the room, so please take the opportunity to talk to them. We've really been overwhelmed in the last number of weeks by the interest that's been taken in the association. We have 2 open board positions and we had 10 people who wish to join the board. So that's a real change, and I think it's a great indicator of the importance of the work that we're doing. Last year we said goodbye to our CEO of 17 years, Justin Carty, and we wish him well in his retirement. He's off in a villa in France today and sends his best wishes to all. But we've been blessed by meeting and hiring Susan Treacy. Susan is a really fantastic, passionate leader, focused on collaboration and strategic thinking, and we're in great hands. So I'd like to welcome Susan to talk a little bit about the conference today. Thank you.
Hello everybody, it's lovely to be with you all and you're all very welcome here today, and it's just so great to be in person. As somebody who worked in sales for a lot of years, that face-to-face is so important, that lovely connecting and networking. So when we chose the theme for today's conference, Connecting for Health Transformation, I suppose the plan was to make sure that we had a room full of people able to share the different perspectives on healthcare in Ireland. And that was people from the public sector and people from the private sector, people who importantly represent medics and most importantly patients, and people able to show us what has worked elsewhere where they are and what we might be able to adopt here. And I'm delighted to say we have them all in the room today. We were also conscious that for transformation to happen effectively, that connection, engagement and facilitation is vital. And that's why we constructed the day deliberately to have opportunities to network, to have fireside chats and lots of panel discussions. And our panels are a blend across the sector. And again, this was deliberate. We deliberately designed the conference this way to provide value with these considerations. We've more panels than we've ever previously had, more coming together across the sector, giving viewpoints in healthcare challenges, whether it's in academia, research, the public sector, industry. And this should provide stimulating discussion, different viewpoints and considerations, whether you're talking about procurement or whether we're talking about, for example, digital health transformation. And we recognise by doing this that we can achieve more for patients through this type of cooperation. For those of you who are at our previous events, I'm here since November, so just a few, you've heard me speak regularly about the three legs of the stool in healthcare transformation, public, the private sector and research, all supporting the patient. And HealthTech Ireland has become the ideal gateway to come together with industry to share ideas, to find solutions, to build relationships. And I suppose, you know, when we think about this, I mean, how have we done this or how can we achieve this? And it's important because it's 40 years, we're 40 years old this year, so 40 years of collaboration, 40 years of working with organisations. And then all of our members sign up to a code of ethics that they adhere to. And then we have memorandums of understanding with most of the organisations here in the room, including the HSE. And that's something that we really do value. It's also reflected in the outputs we support. So following our leadership forum 2 weeks ago, it was in collaboration with the RCSI. We've developments now in a health economics piece for Ireland. And it's a coming together of the RCSI, the Y4 Institute, who you'll hear from later, and industry. And then with digital health transformation, we're a participant with the National Digital Health Leaders Steering Committee, who are doing fantastic work in that space. And with innovation, we're working with the HSE innovation teams within the hospitals and trying to pull together with them around the topics and the challenges that they have. Now, part of the transformation story, of course, is the amazing innovative products and solutions and services that our wonderful members have, that they've created and that they deliver every day. And having worked for 25 years in many roles involved in implementing healthcare solutions and services, transformation, I know, also means understanding and implementing the processes and pathways and the challenges that are there. And these pathways will be they're necessary, such as procurement, supply chain, and those that will ultimately connect the solutions, the products, the services to the patients. But true and sustainable healthcare transformation also has to have broader considerations. Importantly, regulation, defining what's value to the patient, what's value to the system, and of course, sustainability. And again, these are also reflected in all of our panels today. And additionally, our team has been working hard with our board in the re-evaluation of all of our working groups, and we've had a restructuring of the organisation to better reflect addressing these challenges and collaborating around these topics. So in recent years, challenges have been unprecedented, we know, in healthcare and broadly. We've had Brexit, then the pandemic, then war, and now inflation. And we definitely know these challenges aren't going away. We know Ireland is behind in certain areas of healthcare delivery, for example, digital health. And considering we're a hotbed for medtech, supported by a highly young technical workforce, I think it's all up to all of us to leverage our capabilities to enable change, and I have absolutely no doubt that we will continue to do that. The pandemic demonstrated what we what can be achieved and what we have achieved in healthcare, both rapidly and safely, when we take action together, importantly together. And Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is a beginning, and staying together is progress, but working together is success." So please do throw yourself into today, talk, question, stimulate conversation, and let's together accelerate the change. Thank you.
Okay, thank you indeed. I'll relieve you, and of course, Ray and Susan will be around for the rest of the day.